Viewers, welcome to All Schools e-learning app. In the yesterday's session, we have discussed about reading and making maps, right? So in the yesterday's session, we have discussed about in the first session, the importance of the map, what are the different types of maps we have and what are the advantages and the disadvantages of the maps, right? So now as I told you in the session 1, we have different languages for the maps, am I right? So what are the different languages that we have in a map that we are going to learn in this session? So when it comes to the languages, you may have a doubt. Madam, is there any doubt which is similar to the language what we have? Yes, it is also having its own language, that is we call it as a components of a map. This components of a map help us to read or to make the maps with accurate things. Right? So we can make the map according to the components of a map without any sort of inconveniences. Right? So today we are going to learn about the components of map, which means the languages of a map. The first language of a map, that is a sketch. The first one is sketch. So I think children, you all are thinking that sketch is nothing but what you are holding in your hand, sketch pen. No, that is not a sketch what we are going to discuss over here. The sketch is nothing but the map that which is made which is of a rough drawing on a sheet of paper to help us to find out the routes without the help of a scale, without the help of any sort of, the ratios of the scale. This is called a sketch. Once again, I'll repeat for you. The sketch is a drawing which is made on a map to identify the areas which is drawn roughly without the help of a scale. A map which is made without a help of a scale is called as a sketch, right? So here in this sketch, I'll just make you to understand more in detail with the help of a small diagram. What is that? Let us know it. So in this, for example, I think you all are having the friends. In the same way, there are two best friends. They are of Laila and the Seema. Laila and the Seema both are the best friends. As you all know the children, when you will celebrate your birthday, you will invite your friends for the birthday party. Right? I think you all are just close to your houses are close to you, each and everyone. So it will be very easy to find out the house from one to another friend. Right? But whereas here, the Laila is new to the city. Okay, the Laila is new to the city, she couldn't find the house of Seema. Then when Seema invited the Laila for attending the birthday party, inviting her for her birthday party, so the Laila said that I don't know anything about this city, I cannot find any routes because I am new to this city. So at that time, what the Seema did, the Seema has given one rough map to her. What is a rough map? She told that Laila, first you come near the bus stop. So this is a starting point what Seema has given to us. So this is a start point, right? This start point is nothing but that is a bus stand. So what she said? She said that to start her way from the bus stand in a forward direction. Then she started moving. And immediately she told that take the first left. She did, right? And she also gave a clue that there is a shop in that particular lane, that is a shop which is of shop in neighborhood. Shop in neighborhood is nothing but, in your street you can see your shops, like some stationery shop or general shops or something else, right? Such shops are called as a shop in neighborhood, where it is very close to your area, very close to your house. Such shops are called as a shop in neighborhood. So what did she say? Just opposite lane of the shop in neighborhood, she asked to enter into this particular lane. So opposite it is one more lane. So immediately after that, what she told Nana? She said that there will be a 3 lanes that you can see. The first one, the second and the third lane of the street. And she told that after crossing the 2 streets, take right towards a 3rd lane. Then she entered into this 3rd lane. Then she gave one more clue that there is a temple near in this 3rd lane. So just near to the temple, my house is in the 3rd place. So this is 1, so 2 and 3. But unfortunately, what the map that Seema has given to Laila, there are the 3 houses. In the same way, we have more houses just opposite to this direction. After coming here, the Laila is nervous to find a direction. But what happened here? As Seema said that my house is in the north direction. Just assume that this is in north and this is south. But Laila, she entered, instead of going to this house, she just entered into this house, which is in the south part, right? But unfortunately, after entering into that, she said that there is no Seema in this house. She stays in the opposite house, because as they are neighbors, she just gave the information, passed the information, and she went to the Seema's house. And immediately after entering into the Seema house, the Laila told that, I'm very tired, please can you give me a glass of water. After having a water, the Laila was saying that, can't you measure, can't you make the distance from the start point to your house? It is very far. I thought that it is very near to bus stand, then just nearby. So she didn't took any auto, she started coming by a walk. If she would have known this distance, she would have taken an auto, right? So what happened? The Seema was unable to give the exact distance from bus stand to her house. It's all just because this is a map that the Seema made. The Seema has given to Laila a rough map without any scale, right? So this rough map is called as a sketch. Now you observe, you have seen. So here the Laila got confusion between what is north and what is south, right? So she don't know which side is north and which side is south. So this north and south will represent us by through making a one more language, that is of directions. Okay, the second one is of a direction, that is nothing but. So as you all know that, you all know what are the different directions that we have, right? I hope that everyone know this direction in the form of this. What is this? N-E-W-S, news, right? N-E-W-S, news. N stands for north, E stands for east, W stands for west, and S stands for south. So children, you all are able to listen the news every day. Am I right? So this news stands towards all the direction where we are covering the information from each and every direction, which is of north, east, west as well as south. So, but what we call these 4 directions as? I'll just show you. So, if you observe any map, for example, I'll show you a map here. So this is a map I'm having with me, and if you observe this map, for each and every map will shows the directions symbol box over here. This is a clue that we can identify that this direction started with what. So in this you can see that this map has started with the direction north at the top, right? So this symbol represents that the north is at the top position. right? And few maps are there. So we cannot say that all the maps are in the same. There are the few maps which also have the south at the top, but most of the maps will maintain the north at the top. And you will be having this symbol, you will be having this direction symbol over here. By seeing this, you can identify that the map started with what, right? So now this is a map which shows the direction north and right. So that is nothing but this is north and this is started with a north direction, right? That's the reason the north will be at the top and news, right? So that is nothing but this pattern of the map started with a north, right? And you have a, now this is a one thing that we can know by seeing the maps. But I'll tell you a small example. You all know that the sun rises towards the east, right? You all know that the sun rises in the east. So that is nothing but, for example, this is my east direction, like the sun rises over there. So I'm just turning towards the east direction. Oppositely, obviously my opposite direction will be the west. Am I right? So when it is of east, immediately this will be the west, right? But you have a doubt here, madam, this is very easy for us. The front and back map we can analyze easily. But what about the north and south? Either it is north or this is north, or this is south or this is south. You may have a disturbance in this. You may have a confusion in this, right? To avoid this confusion, I'll give you a small tip. You just remember it. The face towards the direction towards the east, when the sun rises, that is called the east. This is very clear to you. And stretch your hands, right children? Stretch your hands, and your right hand shows the direction south and your left hand shows your direction north. Is it clear children? For example, this is my east, this is my west. Now my right hand is showing south and my left hand is showing north. So this is very easy for us to get to know the direction of the map, right? So here, now this is a north, I told you, right? So now obviously when it is of north, this is of south. So what is, when you turn back, this right hand will always shows you the east and this is west. Okay, north, east, west, south stands for news. That is north, east, west and south stands for the directions which is of news. And here in between these two, right, in between the north and east, there is one more, the direction over here. And before going to say about this direction, let me tell you what are these points are called as. What are these points are called as, like north, east, west and south. These points are called as a cardinal points. What is that? A cardinal points, right? And these are the cardinal points to find out the direction. And we have in between the north and east, the middle direction which shows that is a northeast. The north and east, by joining together, we find the other direction in between these two, that is a northeast, right? Obviously, when it is a northeast, in between east and south, you find a direction called, anyone can tell me over here? Very good, that is southeast. Excellent. So when this is a south and this is a east, obviously the intermediate, the middle line will be the southeast. And when it comes to the line in between the south and the west, there is one more direction which shows with the combination of these two, that is a southwest direction, right? So this is the direction which is said to be a southwest direction. And now again, in between the west and the north, we have one more direction, that is, what is that? Anyone can tell me? What is that? Very good. That is northwest direction. Right? So these are the different directions that we have to identify the places, or to locate the places, or to analyze the places on the map. So we have learned that these four are called as a cardinal points. Then you can ask me, ma'am, what are these 4 points, 4 directions called as? These 4 directions are called as intermediate directions. Okay, these are called an intermediate directions. So these intermediate directions will also help us to analyze the data very easily. For example, if you want to locate the places in between the north and in between the east, the places which comes under the northeast can be identified easily. Right? Can be identified easily if you just look forward the northeast direction. Am I right? So these are the main points, these are the main directions which helps us to make the maps as well as to read the maps, or with the accurate result on the map is very easy if we follow these 4 and as well as the other 4 directions which are of 8 directions. That is the 4 directions which are of cardinal points and the other 4 which are of intermediate directions. Right? So these, for example, I'll tell you one thing. So you cannot find the sun all the way. You know, if it is of night, you will be searching where is the sun, where is the sun. Right? So I'll give you one small activity for you children to understand, to make you to understand more easily. What you do is, for example, you just stand towards the east, right? You just stand towards the east and stretch your hands. Okay? Just assume that what your direction says towards your right and what the direction says towards your left. Just now we have discussed. The right hand shows here the southern direction, that is of south, and the left hand shows a north direction. Right? So when it is of east, obviously the opposite direction will be the west. In the same way, you just do this activity children, everyone. What you do early morning, you start doing it. After facing towards this direction, again turn yourself to the other direction. Just assume that this is of east and that is of west. In the same way, you get the directions of each and every area by rotating, by changing your place from one to the other side. Right? Now, this is what the direction which makes us to know and to analyze the area, to locate the places very easily. So this is one of the important language that we can read or make a map. Right? And let's move on to the next one, that is a scale or distance of a map. So the scale or distance of a map is the next component, important component to make or to identify the places on the map. So here in the first example, when I have given the example of the sketch, as Seema has given one of the rough sheet, like rough sketch to the Laila to find her house, right? So that is a sketch what the Seema has given to the Laila. So what happened? The Laila faced a problem while going to that. She don't know the exact distance from how many kilometers or how many meters it takes her to walk. So that is what the disturbance that she faced, right? So whereas here, to avoid that inconvenience, to avoid that disturbance, so here we are using the scale to measure the distance on the map from one to another. I'll show you here. For example, if you take the place of, fine, we will go with Uttarakhand, right? So this is one of the state that you can see. So it just look very small for you, but you know, this small scale, it will be having a different centimeters which is measured over here, but when it is on the ground, it is very big in size. Am I right? So to make it smaller, we use a scale. What is a scale? Why we use a scale? We use a scale. We use a scale in the map to show the actual distance on the ground by reducing it on a map. So what happened here? How we reduced over here? If you see the Uttarakhand, it is very big on the ground surface. Am I right? But when it comes to on a map, it looks very small to you. Yes or no? See, in between this size, you can see the total Uttarakhand. Not only that, you can see the each and every state, which is of very small in size, right? When it is on a map. But when it is on a ground, it is a very big. How we do it? So, there is the ratio which is given for each and every map, that is called a scale ratio. For example, here the ratio which is given over here for this map is 1 centimeter equals to 69 kilometers, right? 1 centimeter is equals to 69 centimeters. So you can see that this is of in between 2 centimeters, I think so, right? So it depends upon the ratio, that how they made this map. Now I'll give you one more example to make you to understand very clearly. So here you all know that during your vacation, right? You'll be going to the vacation, you'll be having a lot of dreams that you want to enjoy your vacation. But unfortunately your teacher has given you some project, right? What is that project? How you have spent your time during the vacation. She asked you to put it on a paper in the form of a description part as in the form of a pictography part, right? So when it comes to the description, you will be writing a very beautiful essays which are of 3 to 4 or 5 or 6 pages. When it comes to the pictographic, few will be good at making of drawing and few are very poor. Am I right? So in this case, what happened? One boy, he went on the vacation to his grandparents' town, which is a small village, right? What he did, he described everything beautifully. When it comes to the pictography, he has drawn a beautiful village. The village environment will be very good, right? You can see the sunset, you can see the sunrise, all the beautiful, the natural environment can be found in the village, right? So that everything he has made it. But there is a bridge near to his town, near to his area. So along with his parents, he went near the bridge. Okay, that bridge, for that bridge, they made a map to know about the description of the bridge. So in that map, it is mentioned that this bridge contains the length that is of 500 meters. Okay, it is an area which is of 500 meters. And also that he has seen some lamps which are posted in between the bridge. There are 6 lamps. There are 6 lamps, right? So in these 6 lamps, he observed it. Now you just see that how he will just put it on a paper. Is it very easy task to him to draw the 500 meters on a small piece of paper? Is it very easy to him? No, right? So can he draw the 500 meters on a small piece of paper? Is it easy task to him to draw? No, it's not easy, right? So what he do? He observed one map. I told you that there is a map which is given over there which is of 500 meters. And not only that, they have given a small rough map for that, like a small rough map which is given, that is of a small like this. So for this small map, they cannot draw the 500 meters on it. What they did? They converted this 500 meters into the 5 centimeters. Right? So they cannot show the big 500 meters of the bridge on small sheet of a map. What they did? They have drawn a line which is of 5 centimeters. The same technique this boy also used, that is of, just assume that this is of 5 centimeters of a bridge, right? And what he described in this, having a 6 lamps, and these 6 lamps are posed with an equal distance. But if you see exactly on the bridge, the real bridge, it is having a distance between one lamp to other lamp, that is of 100 meters. Okay, from one lamp to the other lamp, it is of 100 meters. But when it comes to over here, as he taken the 500 meters into the 5 centimeters, obviously 100 meter he'll be consider it as a 1 centimeter, right? So he'll be taking the distance of 1 centimeter. Right? You can see the distance easily, 1, 1, 1, 1. You got all the 6 lamps over there. So I'll just tell you here, whatever the scale we take on a map will be different on the ground surface. For example, so what he did here, the 500 meters equals to 5 centimeters. And this 100 meters, the scale of the is equals to 1 centimeter, right? So the actual distance on the ground is of 500 meters. When it comes to the lamp, that is of 100 meters. How he converted on a map, in a map, that is of 500 equals to 5 centimeters and 100 meters equals to 1 centimeter. So with this, he can draw a map very easily or not? Yes or no? In the same way, even all the maps will also follow the same technique over here. For example, the simple scale tell us that 1 centimeter, right? 1 centimeter of a map is equals to 1 kilometer, right? For example, if it shows 6 centimeters of one area, it means easily that it is of 600 kilometers. Right, 6,000. So in such a way, the map will show us the directions, distance in between one scale to the other scale with the help of this ratio. Now, coming to the next one. So here, if the Seema would have drawn the map according to this scale purpose, so the Laila would have get the result very easily without any sort of inconvenience. But what happened here, the Laila, she didn't get this kind of map because that is a sketch which is made roughly, but this is a map which we are making with the help of a scale, right? So you can get actual distance with the scale which is on a map by reducing it. Now the next one, the important one is that it is a symbols. Yes, children, you went to theatre, okay? You went to theatre and you have enjoyed, and now you got a relax, a 5 minutes of a break. You just came out. That is the first time that you visited to that theatre, right? Now you need some water. You are searching where the water can be available over there. You can see a board where it shows a water towards a direction, symbol along with the direction, right? So immediately, for example, I can read this. The people who cannot read this, by seeing this symbol, they can identify the route that the water is towards the so and so direction. In the same way, these symbols will also help us, and these symbols are mainly made to make us to know the directions very easily. You know why? For example, in the first session I told you, children, that we have a physical map. In that physical map, that represents the natural features, right? Natural features of Earth's surface. And not only that natural features will also represent with the different colors. I gave the example of mountains, which represents a brown in color. So when you see the brown color over there, you can just easily identify that is a hill or a mountain, right? So that made our work very easily by seeing that. In the same way, these symbols will also help us to know the areas, to locate the areas very easily. For example, if I am drawing a map which is starting point from my house to the school, I cannot draw easily. You know, it takes a lot of space to do it. And not only that, if you see this map, if you draw a school in this map, it takes a lot of space, right? In short, what we do, we just mention this and we'll write school, or else we'll just go with the yes. So it represents that this is a building of a school, right? With this small symbol, it also needs a less space which shows on a map. By seeing this symbol, you can know that this space is this place, this area is a school, right? In the same way, for example, there are the few symbols, common symbols. These common symbols are called as a conventional symbols. Like if you see a tree, so these, in this way it represents on the map. By seeing this, you can identify easily that this is an area which is a forest, right? For example, yesterday we have discussed to find the airways or railways from one place to another place, whether it is connected or not. This can be shown in the form of, for example, if we go with a rail track, it shows a symbol in this way. So this rail track, this symbol will represent us that is a rail track or a rail gauge that we have, right? In the same way, few things like rivers, it is a natural feature, it represents in that way. For example, when it comes to the tank, it represents symbol with this. There are many things. For example, if you see the hospital, it represents with the symbol this, right? When it comes to the police station, it represents with the symbol PS, and railway station with RS, post office with PO. So these are such symbols that we can observe on the map to know where the place exactly that the school or such building or such school or such railway track or a railway station is located in that particular area. So this symbols makes our work more easily, and it gives you a lot of convenience to work on your things if you find such routes on the map. So this is all about the different kinds of directions, you know, different kinds of the components of the maps, which makes you to help to find the accurate results on the map, which is of ground levels of the different areas, right? So in this session, we have learned about the different components of a map. These components of a map are nothing but, we can also say that these are the 4 different languages of the map, which makes us to convenient to read the map or make the map very accurately, clearly, so that if we just go thorough of these languages, we can put the map in a pure and a clarity structure, right children? I hope you understood this topic.